Hello folks and welcome back to twitch.tv/gameswithnick. After spending some time with 999, the first game in the Zero Escape trilogy, we're back to Sherlock Holmes for the next game in the sequence, Crimes and Punishment. And you can tell that this is where Frogwares really transition from a PC audience to a more multi-platform slash console audience, because this is the first time I'm actually playing with a controller. Also, quick reminder that Frogwares is a Ukrainian studio, so go support them. Now, this is a bit of a dumb intro, but sure. So, the one thing I don't love about Crimes and Punishments is that it's not just one case anymore, it's just a bunch of small cases. And I don't think they're really tied up in any meaningful way either. See, Dr. Watson is reading Crime and Punishment from Fyodor Dostoevsky. And Sherlock's just shooting a gun, apparently. Still have PTSD of this song from playing The Witness, but
Holmes, will you stop that? You are utterly mad.
let me boost up the voices.
Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded? You...
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate.
Confident step. Clinking handcuffs. Policeman. 9-step avoided.
Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Ooh.
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
It's a very good question.
Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone then.
Let me check if the thing, but I guess I can't change the video options just yet. Okay. Well, hello. That's a fun cameo. Why does he have a task of point and honor? That's a very good question.
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
This is where I keep my post.
Alright. Let's go to Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, born in 1845 and 50 years old. He achieved great success while hunting in Scandinavia. Retired in 1884, eventually moving to Woodmansley.
I cannot leave yet. I am not finished here.
Wait. What do I... Oh, select a suit to wear. Let me go get my suit then, I guess. That's a lot of suits. We're gonna go for the black suit. Where's the hat? I want the hat! Okay, there we go. We're gonna go for a classic Sherlock look. Now we can go to Woodmansley. I might look into the graphic options before I replay this next time. See if we can maybe improve the quality a little bit. Whoa, very dramatic angles.
I'm over here. Come on.
I still don't understand why... Actually...
These footprints appear to be quite large.
See, the textures on the ground just don't look good. But no, what I wanted to do... No, menu, there we go. What if I do this? Okay.
Mr. Holmes?
I feel like for hunting for clues, the first person is still preferable. Just moving with,
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
moving with keyboard and mouse just doesn't feel as good. Okay, we have a well-maintained garden. You don't want to use detective vision too often because it really slows you down.
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Let me observe her first.
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. But I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
I don't understand.
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
Sounds like a good marriage.
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock. I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... oh dear.
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. We lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
Sounds like he had something to hide.
The garden is very large and well-maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes. Life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
I hear about Plymouth. Religious Catholic woman with the St. James Holy Pilgrimage rituals, but that's it. You have to use your brain a little bit more in this one, which I like. It's pilgrimage.
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
Yeah, something about the shadows just feels very off, but we'll deal with it for today. I'm only streaming for a little more than another hour anyway, so. But by next time, I'll dig into the. This is an old game. This is a game that is like more than 5 years old. I'm sure I can squeeze a little bit more performance from him.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin.
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Hello, hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see. These scratches are fresh. You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
Ooh.
What a terrible way to die.
Harpoon to the wall. That's pretty hardcore.
Someone drank from this glass recently. The initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work. This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
This mini game is maybe. How do I move? I don't. Oh, there's only certain directions that you can move things in, I guess. I see. Boy. Okay, I see that I want to get a boat. But God almighty, how am I gonna get these? What? Let's try. Oh, other side maybe? Yeah, other side. And I can only drag this thing up and down. Boy, this is not a fun puzzle. In fact, it is barely a puzzle. Okay. We are starting to get somewhere. We're starting to get somewhere. Like that's the end of the ship, right? Yeah, so it should. Oh, except I forgot that I can actually move things. So let's try to align the back first. Come on, man, give it to me. All right.
Yes, this is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors.
Okay, those mini games, not a fan.
Rum, a sailor's drink. It seemed that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
All right. Anything for me to focus on? Doesn't seem to be. Oh, okay.
JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook. The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey.
Also realizing, let me bump up the audio a little bit. Volume it a little bit.
These abbreviations mean something, but what?
And let me boost up the audio. I want the voices at the very least to come out real clear.
This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body.
Okay, that's better.
This wooden handle is plain and solid. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed.
Okay.
The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense. Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon. This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong.
Wait, what's that Y thing? I don't want to use a hand. Maybe if I look in the options under how to play. Oh no, okay, that's the deduction space. Yeah, definitely. Alright.
Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer. The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded. Old navigation instruments, nothing interesting. Peter Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8.
That's it? We don't want to open that backpack?
The murder weapon was probably taken from this rack. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain.
Alright.
The tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches. This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book, a box or a small chest, perhaps. Dundee. Hammerfest. It's a whaling map.
Whaling. Alright, my map.
The ship's log.
Okay, we might need to find a specific date for something before we look back at the logs. Alright. Now, I definitely do want to look at the footprints using the boots.
These boots don't match the footprints.
Alright. So, I guess we're gonna need another pair of boots to check it against it, eventually.
Have you finished inspecting the crime scene?
Anything else I might be missing? Let me go back to look at my neurons. A notebook with JHN. An ambush must be made tonight to see if the break-in attempt will be repeated.
Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry.
So what you need to do in your mind palace is to connect clues where necessary. In this case, right, it would not make any sense to connect the break-in attempts to no gardener. They would tell you, nah, it's dumb. And you can kind of brute force your way through it, right? And the idea is that eventually you will develop possible deductions, and you have to kind of pick the right path to accuse someone at the end. So these cases are more open-ended compared to the old ones. You can choose who you believe to be guilty and who you believe to be innocent based on the evidence. And I think that's one of the nice ideas about the game. I think what they failed to do is to tie everything up together.
Is this your husband's tobacco pouch?
I'm not sure. It might be, but he hadn't smoked in a very long time.
Your husband's private papers. Do you know where they are?
There was a small tin box, barely larger than a book. He kept his papers there. It should be somewhere in his cabin.
Thank you, madam.
Alright, let's try to set up an ambush for tonight.
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky.
And why is that?
Because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oh, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
So... what do you want me to
We need to find a good place for an ambush. Perhaps behind Carey's cabin, near the window.
This looks like the perfect hiding place.
You couldn't just bring me there directly? Whatever.
Shh! Did you hear that? There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there! All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocent?
I mean, clearly, you could never stab a guy with a harpoon through the chest.
You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here, waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't...
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't...
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
Oh, come on, think, Lestrade.
But you can't. I'm not... It's a terrible mistake.
Think.
Enough. You can explain all of that.
Do you think this little scrawny guy could have speared a man?
But in light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector. But please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
Because he's innocent, clearly. Hey, that's a familiar face. That's the guy who, sold the skewers in the Jack the Ripper game. Oh.
Good morning, Mr. Holmes. Can I help you?
Good morning, Constable. I would like to speak to the fellow who was arrested at Woodman's Lee last night.
Ah, the young man. He's waiting in the interrogation room. You can go straight through. His belongings are held in the evidence room.
Thank you.
I will also argue that I don't know why Scotland Yard would have jurisdiction over a case happening in Sussex, but evidence room.
These are the suspect's belongings. The notebook that we found on Peter Carey's cabin floor. And partner, 1883. to my friend from R. Dawson. Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer.
Oh, and we're just gonna pocket it?
Initials JHN.
He pocketed it.
A pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin.
Alright. Nope.
Locked.
No. Oh, this way. Let me look at him first. Shabby cap. Thin neck. Callus. Scars. Elaborate button, short sleeves. Expensive fabric, but patches.
Does this notebook belong to you?
Yes. But where did you find it? I did not know... I thought I'd lost it at the hotel.
What do these abbreviations mean?
Oh, no. I beg you, I can't. If I told you, it would only make things worse.
But I will find out eventually, Mr. Nelligan. The sea knife was found near Carey's body. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, did Mr. Carey try to defend himself or to attack you with it?
I don't know. I didn't kill anyone.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
John items were inexpensive but worn and ill-fitting. Check it at a priest who belonged to someone else, most likely his father. Yeah, okay, I bet he's the kid of one of the, I don't think it's profile of the victim. Yeah, let's go. Nope. Wow, you don't say! I am shocked.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
I guess let's look at the engraving.
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago. You would have been a child then, hardly in any position to receive such an item from...
I went one deduction too far. Because it was clearly his father's ring.
Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
Can I now look at Father's jacket? Yes.
No, Mr. Nelligan. I believe that the ring had belonged to your father.
Oh, but how do you know?
The jacket you are wearing is made of an expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man, Mr. Nelligan. Furthermore, the garment is ill-fitting. It is quite clear that it belonged to someone else, most probably your father. With your father gone and taking with him the family's wealth, as a little boy you had to find yourself a manual job, and it was most probably cleaning fish. You cut your hands often while working. I can tell from the scars.
I'm speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
Well, I will see you soon, young man.
Please, let me go. I'm innocent.
Alright, let me go back to Baker Street. Check my archives. And in the meantime, let's look at inductions. We need to find either whether an unskilled and untrained man could use a harpoon well enough to kill by fully piercing a body.
I need to stage a reconstruction. I'm sure that Watson would be happy to oblige.
The answer is clearly no, but... Notebook belongs to Nelligan. That was the goal. The brigand attempts were made in order to recover a notebook that had been lying on the pool of the victim's blood. This proves the guilt of the person who made these attempts. No, it does not. No, sorry, I keep hitting the wrong button. Sometimes you just do this so that you can kind of get through everything. Alright. Let's go check my archives.
That is not the one I need.
Economic science, technology, history. No. Technology, no.
That is not the one I need.
Oh, I can switch between things. Gotcha. 1883, Dawson and Nelligan. Dawson and Nelligan Investment Fund bankrupt. Nelligan missing. The Dawson and Nelligan Investment Fund, a regional banking institution based in Cornwall, has declared bankruptcy as a result of heavy losses in its loan portfolio and has accordingly been assigned for liquidation. It was the 23rd largest bank in Britain, and its bankruptcy was the second largest on record. The liquidation of the company is a pure catastrophe for many Cornwall families. Joshua Nelligan, one of the bankers, has since mysteriously disappeared. He was last seen aboard his yacht preparing for departure to Norway. Nelligan is wanted both by the police and his creditors.
Here it is. Now I begin to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder. It is time to ask him.
Okay. Got a document. Let's talk to Watson. What's up, Doc? Want to help me stab a
Spot of whaling, Watson?
piece
Would
of
you
pork?
care to take part?
Are you serious?
No, but we do need to clarify what happened on the night of Black Peter's murder.
A reenactment, then? Is something bothering you?
The sailor's knife, Watson. Why was it on the floor?
Peter Carey attempted to defend himself?
It is possible.
I don't
if
like
that is the
Watson's
case,
voice.
then
He
it
sounds
alters
whiny.
many things.
I don't quite follow you.
Tell me, my friend, what is the animal closest to man, morphologically, I mean?
Ah, I see what you're getting at, Holmes. You asked me that once before. On the Ripper case, I believe. Do you want to slit some more pigs' throats?
No.
Well, thank goodness for that.
I wish to impale one with a harpoon.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Watson, let us pay a visit to our butcher friend in Whitechapel. We require the carcass of a well-fed pig.
And the harpoon?
One of the harpoons on the wall of Black Peter's cabin should do quite nicely.
Alright, let me go then, I guess, get a harpoon. Still need to match those footprints to something, but for now I'll just...
That should do it. Now I am ready for the experiment.
Grab the harpoon, travel to the butcher.
Well, here we are in the preparation room. I can't say that I like the smell of it much. What do you intend to do?
To indulge myself in a little experiment. The challenge of lancing a pig's carcass with a heavy harpoon.
A little experiment?
Stand aside, Watson. This might be dangerous. I am not well practiced in this exercise, yet.
Holmes, you should aim for the mark in order to perform the most reliable test. The harpoon has struck the body, but with insufficient strength to pierce it straight through.
This is the best possible result that I could get. Do you see, Watson? Throwing a harpoon and pinning a man to a wall requires either exceptional strength and training or diabolical luck.
If it was luck, then it was a chance in 1,000 that night.
Well, yes. Let us leave now.
All right. But before we go, I suppose I'll have to pay for all these carcasses you've happily mangled.
I literally only mangled one
Very well,
carcass.
Please hurry.
Of course.
Let's call it 2, maybe. Stop being so stingy, Watson. It requires a much greater strength than the average man to be able to pierce a man's chest with a harpoon all the way through the wall. A degree of skill would most likely be necessary. Team and cooperation might achieve the same result. There is a remote possibility that an unskilled and untrained man could manage to pin Peter Curry to the wall with a harpoon. My belief is feat of strength. So that's what I'm going to choose now. But... Alright, let's go back to talk to John Nelligan at Scotland Yard. Excuse me, I'm gonna see myself through.
I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes, Joshua Nelligan was my father.
I am aware that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family. My father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believe that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan. At last, we are making some progress. Interesting. Joshua Nelligan and Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Nelligan's disappearance.
Alright, let's go examine the ship's logs. Back to Woodman's Lee. My thoughts at this point is that Peter Carey essentially killed Nelligan's father and used the securities he found to build himself this better life on his way back. That's why he was able to retire. I'm gonna ignore the wife.
1883. That's the one I need. This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn. This is the
Okay.
log notes for June. Nothing unusual. Log notes for July. Nothing special. Log notes for August.
Oh.
These pages have been torn away. Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR. A torn piece from a bond certificate. I have seen this abbreviation somewhere very recently. There are 3 ways of discovering what happened in August of 1883 aboard the Sea Unicorn. The first 2 of these will require speaking with a dead man. The last would be to locate vital witnesses, the sailors involved in this whale hunt campaign.
Alright, so, can I see the... So what was the certificate? Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR. Yep, we got it. CPR 85323701. I guess we can't really look at it, but clearly that's it. I think back on Baker Street? Yeah. Anything in the deduction board I can do? No, it's the usual 4 bits.
Something new, Watson. I have the list of sailors who were aboard the Sea Unicorn. We shall soon learn what happened to Nelligan's father. I have only to find them. Let us hope they are still working at the harbour.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard...
I doubt it, Watson. And really, I would prefer that all of this remains quiet for now. But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
And who might they be?
The secret police division of Baker Street.
Ah, you mean young Wiggins and his gang?
Yes. Believe me, you'll receive more useful assistance from these little urchins than from a dozen yard detectives. Those children are everywhere. They see and hear everything, and they are cunning. All they lack is organization. I'll summon them.
How will you do that?
There is always a watch beneath our window. I have only to call him.
Wrong button. I use the Elite controller, and sometimes the little back buttons accidentally click. It can be a problem.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
That is not the same voice actor.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, I need you to track down certain people for me. I'll give you a list. You can read, can't you?
Big Oliver from our gang. He can, because his father is the coachman of a famous lawyer.
Fascinating. Here is the list of sailors.
Sailors? Easy. Just got to look where the rum and the red lights are.
Sorry to trouble you, Mr. Holmes, but the inspector asks that you come to the station as soon as possible.
Thank you. I'll be there shortly.
Alright, I guess we're gonna go to the station. I was expecting to disguise as a sailor and go talk to people myself, but I guess that's not the case.
Mr. Holmes, I'm glad to see you.
What's up?
As always, what happened?
We have a new suspect, Liam Hurtley. I'm thinking that this case will be resolved very quickly now.
Interesting. Pray tell.
Well, the constable that I left at Woodman's Lee noticed a suspicious individual prowling around during the night.
Do you have him here?
Yes. He refuses to speak with us, but we'll make him talk.
Let us hope so.
Ah, yes, and one more thing. The constable told me that at the time of his arrest, the fellow was writing a letter.
Do you have it?
Of course. It's in the evidence room. at your disposal. Admit that for once, Mr. Holmes, Scotland Yard is a step ahead of you, eh?
Breathtaking.
I mean, it's really only because the guy literally fell in your lap, but, you know. Evidence room.
These are the suspect's belongings.
I'm gonna swap these boots.
Liam Hurtley's old boots. They're a size 9.5. The stains are fresh. They can be removed with the proper chemicals. A pen. Nothing unusual about it.
Right. You know what? Let me go back to Baker. Let me go back to Woodman's Lee to check the boot size, and Baker Street to remove the chemicals, and then we can interrogate him. Show me the boots.
These boots match the footprints exactly.
Alright, Baker Street.
I need to prepare a chemical agent that is capable of removing fresh ink. For this purpose, the chemicals from the flasks should be combined in a certain order to perform a chain reaction. First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
And can I do them in that? Oh, I guess. Oh, because there's 2 blues. Okay.
First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
So we can't do the 2 blues in a row, so what we need to do is we need to blue. Then we can put in the green. Then the other blue. And now we can do orange, colorless, orange, colorless. I wish you didn't have to click twice.
Done. Now I can proceed further. Let us see if the content of this letter sheds a little light upon the mystery. I did as you asked and hid them well. Interesting. How would Hurtley react to this?
I did as you asked and I hid them well, but I beg you to reconsider. Jan, and remember our vows. I have done nothing dishonorable for which you... me. These match exactly. Alright, let us... Liam Hurtley's boot matched the footprints of Woodman's Lee, thus proving he was there. Judith Carey denies he was her partner. Alright, let's go to Scott Lee. Scotty go talk to the guy. Excuse me, going through. Hello? What's up? Oh, I gotta ask for who I want.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I would like to ask you a few questions.
I've already told the police that I've nothing to say. And you're not even part of the police.
Precisely, and considering your situation, it might be wise to speak with someone who is, shall we say, rather more neutral. You are a suspect in a murder case.
I know. Inspector Lestrade told me. It's ridiculous.
Oh, is it?
Could you at least tell me who you
Is
are?
it?
And exactly what happened that you should be brought here?
My name is Liam Hurtley. That I can tell you. But you're not getting any more than that.
Well, we shall see.
He's got an old scar. Handkerchief with crested tit. Plant remains. Gardener's hands.
Tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what were you doing at Woodman's Lee?
Woodman's Lee? I've never been there.
Ah, but you have. As the boots match.
The second pair of boots that you had with you when you were arrested perfectly match the footprints found near the cabin where Peter Carey was murdered.
Footprints? That's your proof? How many men have boots like mine? That doesn't make me a murderer.
Now that your presence at Woodman's Lee has been proven, would you care to explain it?
I don't remember. What would I be doing there anyway?
Now that your presence at
I
Woodman's
know
Lee
what
has
he's
been
doing
proven,
there.
would you
I just
care
don't know
to
the
explain it?
evidence.
I don't remember. What would I be doing there anyway?
Yes, Gardner? Seems like a bad idea. I don't think it's a tobacco pouch. Or is it even?
Because you are the gardener at Woodman's Lee.
I'm not. How did you...
I observed your hands. They told me that you work with the earth. Small fragments of plants snagged to your trousers indicate that you were mowing very recently. But the most obvious clue presented itself in the bird embroidered on your handkerchief. A crested tit, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, you got me. Yes, I am a gardener, and I went there to get my tools.
Honestly, that's not what I expected.
So tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what did you hide?
Hide? What are you talking about?
I did as you asked and hid them well. Should I continue?
My letter? But the ink? That's impossible.
A touch of chemistry, nothing special.
Well, you're a smart one. But it's nothing. If you want to know, I was referring to my tools. It was to do with my work, see?
I will check that, Mr. Hurtley.
I'm sure it was.
That's all for now. Hurtley's stories are false leads. But now I know one thing for certain. I must examine the site where the garden tools are kept at Woodman's Lee.
I don't actually need to. Oh, oh no, it's just the portraits. Still missing a guy apparently. Woodman's Lee. Let me talk to the woman first.
Does the name Liam Hurtley mean anything to you?
No, I don't know anyone by that name.
Madam, we have information that the valuable stolen papers are hidden amongst the garden tools here at Woodman's Lee. We need to find them.
Oh my. Our tools are kept inside the shed that's right behind me. Here is the key to open it.
Alright, thank you very much.
Madam. Let's see what could be hidden here.
We get an ill-fitting plank. Whoa, there was an ominous sound.
Let us see what is in this box.
Oh boy, okay. So what's the... What am I looking for? Okay, I guess... One bit at a time. Oh, we did it.
A bundle of letters in a woman's hand with the Carey family monogram.
Huh.
Hartley and Mrs. Carey were in a relationship. That is interesting.
Liam, my dear, you have been so good to me all the time that I've known you. I cannot describe these feelings, but I suppose that they are sinful and no good can come from them. I fear what might happen. I fear going against God. I thank you for your care, but I cannot leave the man with whom I have been bound by God. It is his divine will, and thus my husband is the cross that I must bear. He makes my life a living hell, but bruises fade, and you must not worry for me. Well, well, well. Look who's dealing in sin.
Madam, I am aware of your affinity with Liam Hurtley.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Are you gonna have me show you the romantic correspondence?
Mrs. Carey, we found your letters.
My letters? I asked Liam to return them to me. I wanted to burn them.
Why did Mr. Hurtley put them inside the garden shed?
I don't know. I wanted them back, but I couldn't see him, not after what happened.
Well, here they are.
Oh, this is terrible. Terrible. Liam, how could he? After what he has done.
You know,
You believe that he
I don't
killed
think
your
it's him.
husband?
I don't think it's him.
I do not know. I do not know. Leave me alone, please.
Thank you, madam. I wonder if Wiggins has managed to find any sailors.
Oh yeah, we were looking at the sailors, right? Y'all see some sailors? There was a Shenmue reference. One day we'll get to play it too. I really enjoy the first Shenmue game, so one day we'll get to it.
Mr. Holmes, we found the sailors from that list you gave us.
Well done, Wiggins. Let me see.
Can I? No?
This man is a harpooner, and his initials are PC, the same initials that were found on the tobacco pouch. Wiggins, could you gather some information on one of the sailors that you found? His name is Patrick Cairns.
Sometime later.
We found Patrick Cairns.
Good job, Wiggins. Where is he?
He lives in a small furnished dump of a room, but he's always at the Sea Witch pub, where he does arm wrestles for money and drinks.
Excellent. Here is your reward. 2 guineas.
Thank you, sir.
Alright. See what else we have. Peter Carey, a non-smoker, Patrick Cairns. The badge belonged to Patrick Cairns. It indicates he's present at a crime scene, but it must still be proven.
If I wish to speak to Cairns without alarming him, I had better dress as a sailor.
Other things on the deduction board. Harmless flirting. It has been confirmed that Liam Berkeley was flirting with Peter Carey's wife and had been fell in love, but it didn't go beyond the affectionate but harmless letters and words. Berkeley's presence at Woodman's Lee on the night of the murder is explained by his affection toward Judith Carey and the fact that he worked there as a gardener. Oh. No, getting the buttons wrong is annoying. Desperate jealousy. Liam Berkeley loved Judith Carey so desperately that this jealousy could have provoked him into committing murder. Nah. So then you're like, Berkeley's motive. Liam Berkeley's relationship with Judith Carey gives him a motive for killing Peter Carey. Berkeley's presence at Woodman's Lee on the night of the murder is explained by the affection toward Judith Carey and the fact that he worked there as a gardener. I do believe it was flirting. I mean, it was, he cared about her, but he is innocent. And once again, I meant to switch back to the clues. Okay. Go dress as a sailor and meet Patrick. I wish I could save the, my outfit, because I clearly can't go with hair and hat.
Now I can approach Cairns.
That is some serious sailor facial hair.
This is the pouch.
Nope. Wrong button. Sea Witch Pub.
Hello there. Are you Cairns?
What do you want?
We've heard all about the gambling on arm wrestling here. You seem like the likely sort, and I'm up for it.
I start at 10 shillings.
Suits me.
Okay, follow his move and plan your counter strategy, pay attention to your stamina. Okay. I'm trying to. Oh, my stamina ran out, didn't it? Oh god, this minigame is stupid. I need to... Why is the camera doing this? Let me retry.
That's the arm that killed 100 whales. Care to lose another 10 shillings?
Yes, because now I know.
I'm ready to try it.
Now I know how the minigame works. So you wanna recharge at times. Oh shit. Okay. And I gotcha. Pow.
You were lucky. I wasn't focused. Let's go again.
Hell no. Let me look at him first. Get a gold earring. Cheap clothes. Strong hands. Yellow nails. And sailor's tattoo.
I'm ready to try it.
Fine. If you want me to take all your money, no problem with that.
Do I have to replay the game? This to me is very reminiscent of the horrible, overstated facial expressions in L.A. Noire. Except that the stamina makes this not fun at all.
Well, good for you, I reckon. You're stronger than you look. Here's your 10 shillings.
I'd like to buy you a drink.
Good winner as well. That's good. Let's have a drink. You're a good type. Seems you've managed to settle down in life. You've got money, eh?
Not all that much.
Oh, well. At least you're not as poor as me.
Why do you say poor? You're not working?
I'm a harpooner. But you see, the whalers are rare. They don't pay much. So, as a result, find myself arm wrestling to pay for my drink.
A harpooner. Interesting. You've had a lot of adventures, I bet.
Of course. It's been a dozen years since I've sailed. I've seen everything. Old Wallace, damn Black Peter, Great Roger. We sailed to the Cape of Good Hope.
Why'd you sail there to get whales?
Black Peter, you say? I've heard rumors about that one.
He was the worst of them all. He was a liar and violent too. Swinging those fists of his around. He was a tyrant and not much of a captain. At least, not as good as Great Roger.
I see. Yes. I was told terrible tales about Black Peter.
But you ain't heard the worst.
Tell me, and let's have another drink.
It was in 1883 that it happened. The August of that year. Peter Carey was captain of the Sea Unicorn, and I was a spare harpooner. We were coming out of the ice pack on our way home. One evening, we saw a little craft that had been blown north. There was only one man on her, and he wasn't a sailor. The crew must have thought that she'd foundered, and they made for the Norwegian coast in the dinghy. I guess they all drowned. We took the man on board.
And who was he?
I dunno. During the crossing, he and the skipper enjoyed some long talks. His baggage was just a tin box.
That's strange enough.
Aye. Even stranger was that on the second night, he disappeared. Nobody knew what happened to him. And of course, nobody could ask Black Peter about it.
You know what happened, don't you?
I do. I saw the skipper tie his heels and push him over the rail in the middle of my watch on that dark night. 2 days before we sighted the Shetland lights.
Black Peter's a murderer.
Aye. And those that know him wouldn't be surprised to hear it. But all this must stay between us. All right?
Of course. Back in a second. I'm off to the Kazi.
I'll be here with my drink.
This plant pouch mean? Oh.
Here it is. Have you got any tobacco? I've run out of mine.
Nah, I lost my pouch. I don't know where. Wait a minute. What's this?
Oh, is this your tobacco pouch?
Well, oh, it is.
Well, I have to go now. I know a captain who's planning an expedition to Cape Cod. Captain Ahab's his name. He commanded the Pequod. He might need good harpooners. I'll tell him about you.
Of course.
Maybe. If you like, aye.
I'm done here. It's time to leave.
Alright, we clearly have our murderer. The pouch. Kearns has confirmed the pouch belongs to him. This means he was at the scene of the murder and thus proves his guilt. Oh, we're still missing stuff. I guess we haven't found a tin box yet. Oh, I might need to just go to Scotland and then show the certificates to Peter. To be like, oh yeah, that's one of the securities that was stolen by my dad.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
I'm not saying...
Mr. Holmes?
No, I guess I can't talk to him. Oh, I know, the notebook, I think, is still in the evidence room here, so maybe that's what we need to do. Yep.
These are the suspect's belongings. I wonder if these are connected. Now we have the proof that Nelligan's papers were indeed here. It seems that they have vanished, however.
So it says... Oop. No. What? Valuable bond certificates were kept inside a stolen tin box. John Nelligan could have been caught stealing the bond certificates. This might have been a motive for him to murder Peter Carey. No, what? Oh, we need an alternate. We need to make to explain why he could be innocent. He was just retrieving the notebook. The break-in test were made in order to recover the notebook that had been lying in the pool of the victim's blood. Oh, no, no, no. No. Yeah. Well, he was probably looking for the papers. He's a victim of circumstance. He doesn't fit the portrait of the murderer either by physical or psychological description. So yeah, I am pretty sure that Cairns is guilty. We finished all the clues, so it's time for the deductions. So, you know, we definitely know that Cairns was at the, was there because he drank with Peter Carey. He left his tobacco pouch there. He probably went there to blackmail Peter Carey, who tried to defend himself, and then Cairns just grabbed the harpoon and killed him. We can either condemn him or absolve him. The murder was not premeditated, it was in self-defense against an armed and irrational and drunken sailor. Let me quickly check if there is something for always condemning or always absolving. Punishments. Absolve versus condemn. Okay, so the only thing connected to it seems to be an achievement, so... Who wish to absolve this man? Who wish to condemn him? Like, on the one hand, he didn't go there with the noblest of intentions, right? He wants there to blackmail somebody who he knew was a murderer. On the other hand, he did a favor to society. I think we're gonna condemn him. The fact that he killed a bad person doesn't mean he wasn't a bad person for killing a bad person, you know? So yeah, condemning. We're gonna go for personal moral compass for each of these. Like, he did not kill him trying to save his wife from being abused, or with, you know, people being like, oh, we're gonna... It was a self-defense act because I was gonna report you to the police because you're a bad man. No, I wanted to gain from it. So yeah, we're gonna condemn him. The next day.
If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Holmes, could you explain it to me?
As I informed you on our way here, Patrick Cairns is the murderer of Black Peter.
Why bring me here? Wouldn't it be better if we were out looking for him?
That would be futile, as he will be with us in approximately 12 seconds.
Oh, well, if this is your idea of humour...
No, I just heard the front door. Prepare yourself.
Good day, gentlemen. A young lad gave me a note from Captain Ahab. Am I at the right address? Is he here?
Indeed, it is the correct address. But in place of your captain, may I present to you Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard?
That means...
It means, my friend, that you are arrested for the murder of Black Peter.
What? What? A trap? You think you can take me?
Here now. We'll have none of that.
and I say that we will.
Wow, Strahd, that was pretty useless of you. Ooh. I don't understand how to parry that one, but like on one side I easily get it. Okay. Alright, we've knocked out the sailor. I'm a bruiser.
Are you all right? Are you able to stand?
Oh, my jaw. Gore. He took me by surprise, Mr. Holmes. Otherwise, he would have seen what I'm capable of. Oh.
Yes, he was lucky.
Ah. But you got him.
It was remarkably easy. He lost his balance after he struck you.
And you practice boxing, I know. You must have hit him hard. Our fellow is knocked out.
We should call for a police cab and then take you to the hospital.
Yes, well, no need for a hospital. I would prefer to keep this between us. You know.
Of course, Inspector. The case is closed.
How does Holter check your conclusion? Oh. I guess there is a correct answer to each case, and then you can choose whether to condemn them or... Peter Carey was murdered by Patrick Carey, a professional harpooner, the only one capable of executing such an accurate throw. His tobacco pouch was found inside Carey's cabin. He is a cold-blooded murderer. You have decided to bring him to justice. Yep. No, we're happy with it. Aye, aye, Captain. And you know what? I think this is where I'm gonna call the stream. It's nice, you know. I was gonna stream for maybe another 20 minutes, but we've reached a nice ending point by finishing the first case. So why not just call it here? So yeah, thank you for watching. You can find me at twitch.tv/gameswithnick. I will be live tomorrow morning where we're gonna start our journey into Dark Souls Remastered. Very, very excited about that one. Otherwise, I'll be live also on Monday night with some Paper Mario to Cousin Your Door. I promise I'm getting back to it this time, I swear. And then Wednesday, some Monkey Island 2, and then Thursday we might come back for some more Sherlock Holmes Crime and Punishment. All the VODs are posted on youtube.com/gameswithnick, so feel free to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Yeah, thank you for watching, and until next time.